I'm an artist from Western Sydney. I come from a suburb called Guildford, which is kind of near Parramatta. Growing up there, and in particular being an incredibly ethnic and multicultural suburb, there was always influences, I guess, in street style, which wasn't necessarily street style, it was just kind of reality.
Love street weaving.
So travelling between the city and the suburbs then became very distinctive of how people perceived particular identities, in particular mainly to do with sport, aesthetic, hip-hop and R&B and mumblecore are a big kind of interest of mine. Even the origins of those kind of genres started from the street and then they kind of became commercialised, and I mean, you know, Adidas footwear came from performing on stage just because that's what they had to wear to becoming a $160 pair of shoes.
Are you gluten-free? Because I love wheat.
In particular in music videos, there's also a lot of things that are like motifs that don't make sense and that are kind of almost a running joke, like the whole idea of talking into a shoe or talking to a pile of money. That kind of thing is super interesting because it then becomes a trend, or it then becomes, you know, a vine, or it becomes like, it's so fast because I guess that's what the internet does to a lot of things as well. So trying to create work that had that same sense of recurring motifs, for example in skim milk, how there's that constant like bread and milk motifs that are happening, and it just becomes a thing.
Degustation.
That whole idea of like, you know, living in the western suburbs and being surrounded by these characters and these identities, then when this work came about where I was kind of like in between the suburbs and the city, that was like what was in my life at that point. It was like the accessibility to constant options, which were lactose free or lactose or you know, a million types of milk, the constant range of options that are kind of pushed in our face in a way. So again, taking the piss out of that and making it a joke. Because a lot of these ideas of the characters and the constant like bread and milk motifs are already so stylized in advertising, it's kind of like we're so adjusted to looking at those types of views of those products or of those people that we kind of don't understand the reality of it. So by taking it one step further, or by taking it a different route, then people are kind of like, but it's bread. Because I think it's a lot easier for people to accept that music videos don't make sense compared to art. I think people can sometimes go into art being very kind of closed off to understanding what it's about. So I think, yeah, making art that is accessible by being so ridiculous and by letting people laugh at it.
Hello, friend. I'm happy. I'm